What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. What an awesome weekend of football. I'm here on Monday to give you my sort of pseudo review. We're going to have some buy players, some sell players, some guys I'm panicking about, some guys I'm freaking out about. But thank you for coming to the channel. If you haven't been before and you like what you're seeing, please like the video, share it around, subscribe to the channel. Any and everything helps. So thank you guys for tuning in. But today, to get it kicked off, I'm going to give you a couple buy players. And the first of those is going to be running back Ty Chandler for the Minnesota Vikings. When it comes to Ty Chandler, I think there are a couple things for me. In watching his game film, I actually think Chandler looks like the more explosive running back for the Vikings. Now, Aaron Jones is going to be involved. He's the veteran. I don't think any of us thought that Aaron Jones was going to have some 90% snap share and have 90% of the touches, but this does seem to be more of a rotation. And I think in watching them, you can definitely tell who the faster, more, younger athletic player is in Ty Chandler. Now, he hasn't done anything too crazy. He's been like an RB3 so far for the season, but he did lead them in rushing yards last week. 82 rushing yards on 10 carries, and I wouldn't be surprised to see his role grow a little bit in the upcoming weeks. The other thing when it comes down to it with Ty Chandler is this Vikings team is better than we thought they were going to be. Now, all analysts, all drafters, we all make mistakes. We all make assumptions in the offseason. I think most people thought they were going to kind of take a step backwards when it came to their offense without Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold running the offense, but that really just hasn't been the case after 2 weeks. So if you're investing in a timeshare running back in a better offense, it is something that can be kind of usable. My next buy I'm going to go on is Ramondre Stevenson. Now, he's going to be a little harder to buy as he's had two very, very good weeks of fantasy football so far. But I think the Patriots are just a better team than we all gave them credit for. Their defense is playing well, so they're going to be in these games and able to run the football successfully. Their schedule isn't too tough as well. Definitely take a peek at that upcoming. I think there's some good games and there's some chances for Ramondre just to continue to be the workhorse for this offense. And in general, Ramondre Stevenson, in watching him, is a very good running back. I think a lot of people have this affinity for Ramondre Stevenson, and it comes from watching him play football. He's a power guy, but he has good quick moves behind the line of scrimmage. So I really do like trying to get Ramondre Stevenson if you can get your hands on him. Now, two players I'm looking to sell going into week 3. Number one is going to be Alec Pierce. Now, Alec Pierce has had an amazing start to this season. He's a top 5 fantasy wide receiver right now, and he's just had some really big plays for Indianapolis. But what that has meant is Adonai Mitchell hasn't done anything. Michael Pittman hasn't done anything. Even Jonathan Taylor hasn't really gotten to the end zone or been super crazy. And Josh Downs still injured, still banged up. He could work his way into the rotation. So I'm not going to buy this small sample size of Alec Pierce being the number one there in Indianapolis. Sorry for the tongue twister there. You guys tried to say that one as well. In Indianapolis. But for Alec Pierce, I don't think there's going to be too heavy of buyers. But maybe someone's looking for a wide receiver. Maybe they had been depending on Puka. Kupp, a little banged up. Maybe they're looking for someone to throw into their flex position. And maybe Alec Pierce's stats are enough for them to buy him. I think for me, I really find my success comes from watching film and watching all the games and really trying to learn how these statistics played out by watching it. I'm not just looking at the box score, but a box score watcher might look at Alec Pierce and be like, oh my God, this dude's been absolutely amazing. But I just don't really think this is going to continue to happen season long. And the flip side of that, he's not a buy on my week, but there are better weeks ahead for Michael Pittman. And the second one I'm going to go with is going to be Singletary. Devin Singletary, running back for the New York Giants. Singletary's had some okay games. He's coming off a really good game, honestly, for running back standards. But he did just get Washington, who, as you can see, is one of the easiest matchups for running backs and just an easy matchup in general for fantasy players trying to score points. Obviously, Danny Dimes had a very good game. Malik Neighbors had a monster game against Washington. I think you're going to see throughout the season that a lot of players are going to have very good and very high performances against Washington. So if I can sell Singletary for someone I think is going to be a little more usable moving forwards, that's definitely a move that I would be willing to make. I don't think Pierce or Singletary are going to get you some stud coming back, but I think there's some other guys you could use them to go acquire for your team. As well, just for today's show, thank you guys for tuning in. I want to shout out a little t-shirt company. I'm going to stand up here. Look at this awesome shirt that I'm wearing. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Going to be rooting for him tonight in the Monday night game. I'll have the link below. Fantasy Fits. I have another awesome Puka Nacua shirt. You get 10% off if you're going to use my code. So if you guys could check them out, that would be awesome. It's a great way just to support me, smallly support their new company. Thank you guys for checking it out. But next is going to be my panic for the week, and that's going to be Mark Andrews. Now, I'm not totally thinking Andrews is going to have a lost season or anything like that, but Mark Andrews has been off to a kind of slow start. I think Isaiah Likely is involved enough that Andrews' upside has kind of gone down a little bit. Now, Andrews is a good player. Obviously, Lamar Jackson still looks for him. I'm not freaking out about Mark Andrews, but he's kind of on my I'm worrying meter. And, it's just enough that if you could maybe pivot Andrews into a higher upside tight end, I probably would do that. I definitely would rather have like Brock Bowers than him, someone who I think has started out really hot and just looks to be a better asset moving forward into the fantasy season. And my freak out for the week is going to be the Denver Broncos offense. And it's just a hard watch. They had a couple tough matchups. I do think that is true. Pittsburgh and Seattle are probably going to be two of the top 12 defenses come the end of the year. Just knowing their coaches and the way they like to run their franchises. But it looks tough for some of these Broncos weapons. Bo Nix, we obviously saw some struggle coming. But, Javonte Williams, I don't think he's playable. You're not playing any of these wide receivers. Jaleel McLaughlin had a little upside week one, but then followed it up with an absolute dud. So it's not something that really speaks as someone that I am going to really buy into as an offense right now. I'm definitely not going to play any of these guys in my lineup moving forward, and I'd be concerned enough. I think some of these guys I'm probably okay dropping. I'm not going to drop Javonte Williams, but I think I would drop Cortland Sutton if I'm looking for someone I need to use right now in my lineup. And thank you guys for tuning into the show. That was just my week 2 kind of reaction, going over some different players I'm targeting. And thank you for joining the channel. Thank you guys for commenting. It means so much to me. We have 550 subscribers this weekend, and that just makes me so freaking excited. So hope you guys keep coming back. Check out the other videos on the channel. Like, subscribe, comment. Everything helps. I appreciate you guys, and have a good day.